Most people don't fail because life is too hard. They fail because they react too quickly. The moment something bothers them, they explode. Someone disrespects them, they react. Someone challenges them, they react. And every time they react, they give away control over their mood, their peace, their decisions. But the strongest person in the room is never the loudest or the angriest. It's the one who reacts to nothing and controls everything. When you don't react, you become unpredictable. You become untouchable. You become the one who leads. I'm not here to teach you how to win arguments. I'm here to teach you how to rise above them, to protect your peace, to let your silence speak for you. Because when you react, they win. But when you stay calm and stay in control, that's when you win. The fastest way to lose control is to react emotionally, and most people don't even realize when they are giving their power away. They think reacting makes them strong, but it actually makes them predictable. When someone knows what triggers you, they own you. They can push one button and control your whole mood. That's why before reacting, you must stop and ask yourself one question. Am I responding or am I just losing control? Because the one who reacts is not in control. The one who observes is. People who react quickly don't think. They just respond to pressure. But people who stay calm, even in chaos, make decisions with clarity, and clarity is power. The wise don't react. They choose their response, and that choice shapes their future. A small gap between what happens and how you respond. That tiny space decides everything. It decides whether you look weak or strong, lost or confident, emotional or wise. That's the moment you must own. Most people say, he made me angry, she made me shout, they made me react. But that's just another way of saying, they control me. If someone can influence your emotional state that easily, they don't just control your mood, they control your life. And the day you understand that, your life changes. The secret is not learning how to fight better. The secret is learning how to not fight at all. Because the person who keeps his calm is the one who keeps his crown. People assume that silence means weakness, but silence is a strategy. Arguments need fuel, and silence is the fastest way to starve them. You don't have to show up to every fight you're invited to. Some people are waiting for your reaction just to feel powerful. The best way to beat them is to not give them what they want. When you stay calm, they lose their script. Their plan falls apart. They expect you to explode, and when you don't, they don't know what to do next. That's when the power shifts. That's when control begins. Controlled silence is not weakness. It's emotional discipline. It's proof that your emotions work for you, not against you. People respect the one who controls the room, not the one who tries to dominate it. The loudest voice isn't always right, and sometimes the strongest response is no response. Your reaction is your signature. It tells people who you are, how much you can handle, and how easily you can be shaken. When you react less, you reveal less. And when you reveal less, you protect more. Every day you are teaching people how to treat you. By the way you respond, if you react to every small thing, you teach people that your emotions are easily manipulated. But when you stay calm, you teach them that your peace is not for sale. That's what power looks like. The person who knows how to stay composed in uncomfortable conversations wins more than someone who argues with perfect logic. Because emotions beat logic when logic loses control. The real challenge isn't dealing with difficult people. The real challenge is making sure difficult people don't change who you are. It's easy to stay calm when everything is peaceful. The real test is staying calm when everything is chaotic. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is built in tension, in pressure, in conflict. Every time you control your reaction, you train your mind to rise above the noise. You become stronger than your triggers. You grow beyond your doubts, and slowly, your emotions stop being your master. They become your tools. That's emotional maturity. Not reacting doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you choose when and how to feel. You don't let the world pull your strings. You write the script. You run the show. You must protect your emotional energy the way parents protect their children, because your peace is valuable. Not everyone deserves access to it. Some conversations don't deserve a reply. Some people don't deserve a reaction. Some situations don't deserve your emotions. Walking away doesn't always mean weakness. Sometimes it means wisdom. Imagine a king stepping into every street fight. He would stop being a king. Power is not proven by reacting. It's proven by restraint. Let people think you're quiet. Let them think you're slow to respond. They don't need to know that silence is your most powerful move. They don't need to know that you're calm as a weapon, because the people who truly win in life are not the ones who react the fastest. They're the ones who think the clearest. Every day life will test you. People will test you. Pressure will test you. But the question isn't how will they act? The real question is, how will you respond? Because the world doesn't judge you by what happens to you. It judges you by how you handle it. If you can't control your reaction, someone else will control your outcome. When emotions rise, take a breath. Instead of speaking fast, pause. Instead of defending yourself, choose dignity. Instead of explaining your worth, protect your peace. You don't owe everyone your reaction. You owe yourself your control. And that starts with your choice every day to not let anything or anyone take your power away. The one who stays calm in the room isn't just quiet, he's in charge. Calmness is not the absence of emotion, it's the control of emotion. Most people think power is loud, aggressive, and dominant, but true power is quiet, measured, and intentional. The person who doesn't rush to respond listens. And the person who listens gathers information. And the one with information makes the decision. That is why calm people decide the outcome. They're not busy defending themselves. They're not trying to prove anything. They are analyzing, observing, listening. And every second they remain silent, their power grows. Because the fastest way to lose an argument is to turn it emotional. And the fastest way to win is to stay rational. Calmness is not being passive. It's being strategic. It's choosing the right moment instead of reacting to every moment. When people try to push you, insult you, or test you, they're really asking one question: can I control you? If they can trigger you, they understand how to manage you. But when your response is calm, no anger, no panic, no rush, they lose the manual, they lose their script. Suddenly they can't predict you. And when they can't predict you, they can't control you. That's when they feel uncomfortable. That's when they realize that silence is not weakness. It's dominance without noise. When someone loses their calm, they lose clarity. When they lose clarity, their decisions become emotional. Emotional decisions might feel powerful in the moment, but they cost more than they give. Anger speaks fast, but wisdom speaks last. And the one who speaks last usually speaks the truth. In every conversation, one person leads and one person follows. The leader is always the one who controls the tone. And the tone is controlled by the one who remains calm. If someone yells and you yell back, they set the tone. If someone disrespects you and you try to defend yourself, they set the tone. But if someone tries to pull you into chaos and you refuse to enter, that's when you set the tone. That's when people know you are not just reacting, you are deciding. Calmness is a decision. It's you telling the world, I don't have to match your energy. I choose my own. And when you choose your tone, you choose your outcome. That is emotional leadership. And emotional leadership decides everything. Conversations, relationships, negotiations, even respect. Powerful people don't rush. They don't need to. Rushing is a sign of fear. Calmness is a sign of confidence. That's why in high-pressure situations, panic creates mistakes. But calmness creates solutions. Emergency teams, airline pilots, surgeons, they are all trained not just to act fast, but to think slow. Because clinking is not the same as clear thinking. Calmness gives you access to your reasoning. It gives you space to see what others can't see because they are too busy reacting. When your mind is calm, you notice everything. You understand patterns. You read the room. You see the motives behind the words. And when you see motives, you see the real game being played. And the one who understands the game becomes the one who controls it. Some people want you to react because they need your reaction as fuel. They need your anger to justify their behavior. They need your panic to elevate their ego. They need your loudness to distract from their weakness. But they can't do anything with your calm. Calmness shuts down drama. Calmness protects your energy. Calmness exposes their true intentions. When someone shouts and you stay calm, they don't look powerful, they look unstable. And that's how you win without even speaking. Arguments are often a fight for dignity, but calmness preserves your dignity without damage. It lets you walk away with your peace and your reputation intact. Silence can't be misquoted. Calmness can't be used against you. There are people who will question your silence, your calmness, your refusal to react. They will say, if you don't react, you'll look weak. But that's the voice of insecurity talking. Calmness is rarely understood by emotional minds. Loud people will call you cold. Emotional people will call you distant. Immature people will call you arrogant. Let them talk. A king does not explain why he doesn't fight every battle, because a king knows that not every battle deserves his presence. Your calmness is your filter. It tells you where to invest your energy and where to withdraw it. It tells you who deserves an answer and who deserves your absence. When you learn to control your reactions, you start choosing your battles. And when you start choosing your battles, you start winning your life. Your calmness isn't just for others, it's for you. It protects your health. It protects your relationships. It protects your ability to think clearly. Stress, anger, ego, they all come from lack of control over reaction. The moment you let your emotions run fast, your judgment runs slow. Calmness gives you space to breathe, to think, to lead. And that's what leadership truly is, being the emotional thermostat in the room, not the emotional thermometer. The thermometer reacts to the environment. The thermostat sets the environment. Calm minds set the temperature of the room, and no matter how heated things get, people look to the calm person for direction. That's why calm people lead. That's why calm people win. Because calmness isn't silence, it's control. Every moment of pressure in life is either a trap or a training ground, and your reaction decides which one it becomes. If you react, it becomes a trap. If you stay calm, it becomes training. And every time you choose calmness over chaos, your mind gets stronger, your emotions get disciplined, and your future gets clearer. Calmness is not the absence of strength. It is the highest form of strength. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will appreciate it. But the ones who truly lead always master it. Because when you are calm, you don't just survive the situation, you decide it. Silence isn't empty. It's full of information, full of control, and full of power. Most people misunderstand silence. They think it means you don't know what to say, or you're weak, or you're scared. But silence is not the absence of strength. It's the presence of discipline. A wise person knows that silence doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means you are choosing not to say it right now. Silence is intentional. Silence is strategic. Silence is your way of taking control of the moment. When you stay silent, you give your mind time to process, to observe, to analyze. And when you observe long enough, people reveal themselves, their tone, their motives, their weaknesses, their insecurities. And the longer you stay silent, the clearer the truth becomes. People who use silence as a strategy don't rush to defend themselves. They don't chase validation. They don't react to every question just because someone demands an answer. They know that silence protects their dignity when words might damage it. Anyone can shout, anyone can react, anyone can speak out of anger. But only the disciplined can stay silent long enough to respond wisely. Arguments are not always won by the one with the best logic. Sometimes they're won by the one who speaks the least. Because when your silence makes the other person uncomfortable, they start revealing their true intentions. Their tone changes. Their words become desperate. Their arguments start stretching further than the truth. And in that moment, silence becomes your weapon. It exposes what their words are trying to hide. Some people don't want clarity. They want a reaction. They want you to say something they can use against you later. They want you emotional so they can stay in control. Silence denies them that control. Silence keeps your hands clean. Silence keeps your reputation safe. And silence keeps your mind clear. When someone tries to provoke you and you remain silent, they don't see weakness. They see stability. They see someone they can't manipulate. Silent confidence has a way of making loud people question themselves. Calmness in your silence makes people either respect you or fear you. Either way, you remain in control of the moment, and control is what emotional strength is built on. Silence also builds mystery, and mystery builds respect. If people can't predict your response, they start choosing their words more carefully around you. They become more cautious. They think before they speak. That's the influence silence creates. It changes the energy of the room without a single word. When you stay silent, you control your information flow. You decide what people know and what they don't, and that protects your boundaries. Words can be twisted. Words can be misunderstood. Words can be used against you. But silence can't be twisted. Silence can't be taken out of context. Silence can't be thrown back at you later. Silence protects you in ways speaking never will. But silence isn't always doing nothing. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer in the room. Silence says, I see what you're doing, but I don't accept the invitation. Silence says, I value my peace more than your approval. Silence says, I am in control of myself, and that's why you can't control me. Silence doesn't make you weak. Reacting does. Silence doesn't make you powerless. Arguing does. Silence doesn't make you small. Losing your composure does. Silence requires maturity, and maturity isn't always comfortable. It means being okay with not explaining yourself. It means letting people think what they want while you stay rooted in who you are. It means knowing that you don't need every battle to win the war. The most dangerous version of you is the version that knows when to walk away instead of arguing. The version that knows that peace is more valuable than victory. The version that understands that sometimes your silence is not surrender, it's self-respect. If your silence protects your peace, then it's the strongest move you can make. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will think you don't care. Some will think you have no strength. Let them think. You don't owe explanations to those who don't care about the truth. You owe protection to your mindset, your peace, and your future. And silence protects all three at the same time. Silence teaches you emotional control. It trains your mind to observe, not absorb. It keeps you from throwing words you'll regret later. It keeps you from reacting to temporary emotions with permanent damage. A calm response will always age better than an emotional one. Sometimes your silence today saves you from an apology tomorrow. Sometimes your silence today protects a relationship for the future. And sometimes your silence today exposes a truth you never would have seen if you kept talking. Silence is patience, silence is awareness, silence is clarity, and clarity is what keeps your life moving forward instead of getting stuck in emotional traffic. The people who truly respect themselves know this: not everything deserves a reaction. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every insult deserves your attention. Some things deserve silence and distance, not because you're weak, but because you are wise. The older you get, the more you understand that silence isn't running away, it's rising above. You stop trying to control every narrative. You stop needing to win every argument. You stop chasing validation. You don't need the last word because your peace is louder than that. A peaceful mind is not a quiet mind. It's a controlled mind. And a controlled mind doesn't react, it chooses. In the end, silence isn't just a strategy. It's a shield. It's a filter. It's a teacher. And it's one of the greatest signs of emotional maturity. Because the person who knows when to speak and when not to doesn't just control the conversation, they control their life. We think strength is loud. We think control means winning every argument. But real power doesn't need to shout. It just needs to stay steady. Because the moment you control your reaction, you control your life. So from today onward, let people talk, let situations test you, let pressure build up, but don't react, observe. Think, respond only when it serves your peace and your purpose. And if it doesn't, walk away with quiet strength. You don't always need the last word. You just need self-control. And when you master that, no one controls you ever again. That's not weakness. That's strategy. That's power.